life, Linda Blair was a sea monkey.
I don't think so. At one point in her life, well, if you want to call it life, was actually the size of a sea monkey.
I used to think she was so cute when I was in high school. I don't know why I threw that out. This epic disaster high.
Oh, have we started?
I don't even know if there should be a starting point or if there is a starting point. I just feel like the podcast never stops. It just kind of goes on.
Well, it's just us anyways.
Yeah, if anybody just follows us around,
that we'll be doing the podcast.
It's just a continual podcast.
When you and I are out in public together, we talk exactly the same way that we talk here on the podcast.
I always think it's weird that
we even fight the same way.
I always think it's weird that Maria never listens to the podcast, and then I think, well, she doesn't need to.
She doesn't need to.
It happens right there in the living room constantly.
It happens right in front of her.
You screwed up the light. I need light. I can't see what I'm doing. Hi, everybody. How are you? Welcome to this epic disaster. In case you didn't know where you were and where you are. So apparently what's happening now is the quarantine over?
It shouldn't be.
I don't know what's going on in the rest of the world. This past week, the governor of Georgia, where we live in Atlanta, Georgia. The governor of Georgia declared it's over. It's done.
Right,
Everybody out. Go have a good time. Play tennis. Whatever you want to do. Bowling alleys are open now.
Go get a tat.
You can go bowling. You can get your nails done. You can get your hair done. All of the things that 2 weeks ago would have given you COVID-19. Now you can do freely and without guilt
and without danger.
And there's no problem.
You're not going to get it.
So what I saw was 1 week I went to the store. Everybody's wearing a mask, and then that happened. The next week, I don't know. I'm guessing 45% or less. People are wearing a mask. Everybody's just like, it's done. It's over.
No big deal. That's surprising because in my neck of the woods, which is about 20 minutes away from your neck of the woods, my grocery store today, I went in there today. Yeah. And pretty much everybody had a mask and gloves on. Yeah. Today.
So my workshop in Chattanooga, 2 hours away, I've had to drive up there a lot this past week. Chattanooga, like a different world. Not as much as down here. So I will tell you a story. I'm not going to tell you who told me this story because I wasn't given permission. But a friend of mine was in an Ace Hardware shopping and picking up some things. And my friend said that while standing in Ace Hardware, and this is my friend's words, a group of rednecks came up really close onto my friend's back.
What?
You could feel
like breathing
breath
down your neck. Yeah.
And my friend turned around and said, "Dude, 6 feet." And the redneck said, "I'll dig you a grave 6 feet."
No, he did not.
Yeah, he did. "I'll dig you a grave 6 feet."
What did your friend do?
Nothing. What are you going to do? That's stupid. You know what I would have done?
What?
I would have been awesome. Get out there right now and do it. Do it now. You just said you would do it. Go on outside. If you need a shovel, I'll buy you a shovel. Go out there and start digging your grave. Dig the grave now. Or
you
said
you would.
Are you just talking?
Or are you just a liar?
No, you said you would dig a grave. Go dig a grave.
And I can't trust anything you say ever.
I would have said it really loud so everybody in the store would have heard it too.
I think that would have been funny, actually.
"I'll dig you a grave for 6 feet."
That's some fucking bullshit. So I heard on the radio, just when I pulled up in front of your house, I heard on the radio something about the president of a very well-known restaurant chain here.
Okay.
Has some tips for the White House on how restaurants can reopen safely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did they list them?
Well, they didn't really list them. It's just that while he said he had these tips and he wanted to provide this information for other cities across the nation, he also admits that his restaurants are virtually empty.
Yeah.
And my response to that was to finish the sentence and say, because we're not fucking idiots.
Well, and that's the case. A lot of places are opening, but you can't force people to go.
No.
But here's what I think is going to happen, because I was telling my wife this. I was like, I think it's a psychological thing. So it's open, and people are going. You're going to see fewer people with masks, and just like hypnotism, everybody's going to be like, oh well, all right, I guess I'll go. I guess I'll go to the restaurant. Why not?
Good luck.
And it'll go out and it'll start. And so I read today they're predicting that it's going to come back in the fall.
Yep.
And there's a good chance it'll be bigger and stronger than now.
So there are actual letters used to predict waves of things.
Yes.
There's a V, there's a W, there's a U, and these can predict like economic patterns.
Yes.
Okay. So a friend of mine happens to sit on several boards. One of those boards is a board for the federal banking. I don't know the name of it.
Yes.
And she said in their last meeting, they discussed obviously the the U.S. economy and what's happening. And there was debate about what our bounce back looks like. Is it a V? Do we go straight back up? Is it a W? Does that mean that we go straight back up and then there's another dip and then we come back again? Or is it a long, drawn out U? You know, it's hard. Wow. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. And they don't really know yet. The Federal Reserve, that's what it is, Federal Reserve. So they don't even know yet. They all have their own predictions as far as the economy is concerned. And I imagine that that's the same as far as this wave of virus, you know. Are we going to cause it to spike again?
Yes.
And my answer would be yes. Us as humans.
The only thing we can do right now is to drown our sorrows, like everyone is trying to do. I wonder how much alcoholism. Wonder how many new alcoholics will be born.
Well, I wouldn't say that there would be alcoholics created, but I would say that alcohol consumption has likely gone up.
But that's what I'm saying. People who might not have known they were alcoholics before probably now know. So there were a lot of new alcoholics out there.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that just because they're drinking more makes them alcoholics.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying maybe people who didn't drink much at all and didn't know that they were alcoholics now are drinking more and have discovered that they are.
It's possible.
That's what I'm thinking.
Here.
Today we're going to become alcoholics. We're going to be drinking and get a little religion at the same time.
We are drinking a beer today. It is a Pilsner. It's a 5.5% alcohol by volume.
A little more.
It is called Flying Spaghetti Botster.
Flying Spaghetti Botster?
Yes.
Now, I'm a little concerned that it might taste like spaghetti.
No, I doubt it. It doesn't smell like spaghetti.
Does it not? Let me smell.
No, it's an Italian-style Pilsner, and it's by Urban Farmhouse Brewery.
Okay.
And they are located in Charlotte, North Carolina. Actually, it says Wooden Robot Brewery. This is weird. So here it says Urban Farmhouse. I guess it's a
Pilsner?
It is an Urban Farmhouse Brewery, and the name of it is Wooden Robot Brewery.
Tastes like an IPA.
It's called Flying Spaghetti Botster Italian-style Pilsner.
All right, so if you don't know anything about Flying Spaghetti Monster, I'm not going to explain it. It is a religion, but it's a little more than a religion. So just Wikipedia it. Flying Spaghetti Monster, if you want to know what
now,
the
this
beer
is a play
based
on words because this beer is actually called Flying Spaghetti Botster.
Right.
And on the artwork, it is a dude with a pitchfork who looks like he's wearing a barrel, but he has a robot head and light bulbs for eyes.
Well, the brewery here is Wooden Robot Brewery, so that
yes.
I wonder if all of their beers are something about.
It's possible.
Robots.
Possible.
I don't know. Well,
I can take these off now, though.
The glasses.
Yes, now I can see.
I'm a little concerned about all the stuff we talked about. I don't know. I think it's gonna backfire. I think people are dumb, and I think what we have shown is that our leaders, our government leaders, it doesn't matter if they're Republican or Democrat, they care more about, and it's an important, economy is an important thing. You can't have a country without it, but you also can't have a country without people. You can't have a country without healthy people, really. So I think they might have put economy over human beings. However,
and I mean, some of them have actually used the phrase, I would rather die than see the U.S. economy go down.
Yeah.
Now, that's great for you.
Yeah.
If you would rather die, fine,
Yeah.
go die. But if you would rather walk around and kill other people than see the economy go down, then that makes you an asshole.
I like this because it's not a theory. I just say, let's see what happens. So the true test will come. I mean,
see what happens.
You can't just say, well, it could, it might. Whatever's going to happen will. You'll either get a spike or you won't. So somebody's going to be a hero. We'll find out who.
I'm feeling rather fortunate in my position. The fact that I still have a position, like I have a job, makes me feel very fortunate. I'm also feeling fortunate in that the owner of my company has decided we're not doing that. We are working just fine from home.
Yeah.
And we're going to go ahead and continue to do that.
And I think that that's pretty good for a while, and people just gradually start coming back. It's probably the best way. But now it doesn't matter if you do make that decision. The people who have not, the businesses who have not, are going to screw it up for everybody. Now it's like all of the workers, all of the doctors and staff that have been working overtime.
Healthcare workers. Yeah.
It's like poking them in the eye.
Yeah.
It's
it's a little worse than that. Yeah.
Like, thanks, but we're going to come on out and we're going to be a risk now.
We're just going to keep making more work for you.
So I feel bad for them, and I feel bad for a lot of people, but. At the same time, you have to realize that there are a lot of really, really small and smaller towns in the United States that aren't affected by this at all. And they're, in some ways, I won't say being punished, but in some ways, like, they're being quarantined, and they don't need to be. So they want to get out and work just because some bigger cities are in trouble. So it goes all ways.
I completely understand the plight of people whose job depends on them going to a building and doing a job.
Mm-hmm.
That is their livelihood. They cannot do that without going to a place.
Yeah.
And some places are still open for people to go to, but if you look at the news, I guess, I mean, that's where I'm getting my information, unfortunately. You look at it, and the places where a lot of people go is where the hot spots are.
Yeah.
So are you willing? It's a hard question to answer. Are you willing to risk your life and your family's life by going to a place every day to make money rather than hunkering down for a little while, scrimping, going to food banks if you have to, and just getting through it? Until
just a
safe,
little while
just
longer.
a little while longer until it's safe to go to these places. Now, the people that are just like, I need to get my nails done, YouTube that shit. You can do it yourself.
But you say that, but it's too late. It's open. It's open.
I know.
The gate is open. So now we just got to see what happens. Okay, so we talked about it last week. We did our very first Zoom. Our first This Epic Disaster Zoom meetup hangout.
Yeah, that was
fun.
fun.
It was really fun.
It was really fun.
And so it was so much fun. We've decided we're going to do it again, and probably once every maybe couple of months, month and a half. A special
Somewhere
occasion.
in there. Yeah.
Special occasion. We might do it every a month.
Let's just say that we'll do it around 6 times a year.
Yeah,
if we're even doing
and
this
if we want to
next
do
year.
one, we always do 4th of July thing. We might do one for that.
There you go.
But it was fun. I liked it because there's a lot of people that we have interacted with through email and stuff, but we haven't actually seen them and we haven't got to deal with them. And so that's fun to actually see people who listen to the show.
So do you want to say who joined us?
No, they might not want.
Okay.
We don't have permission to.
We had
say.
4 or 5 of our listeners and their families or spouse or kids jump on and say hi.
Yep.
And we had a good little conversation. Gosh, it went on for about an hour and a half.
And there were a lot of people who said they were going to show up and they didn't. And we even heard from a later. They were like, "Oh, I really sorry I missed it, but I think they want to come to the future ones."
Yeah, and we'll do more.
So I think it'll be fun, and it could, I don't know what. 30 minutes, hour?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of
it was
hangout?
fun to see people's faces. We played a game of Would You Rather.
Yeah, everybody got to play.
Everybody that joined, including spouses.
Yes.
Rick just spun it all up to hell and told them that if they had spouses, that their spouses had to play like it was a newlywed game and they had to answer the question like they thought that they would answer.
Maria did that. I didn't do it.
Oh, okay.
I
Your wife
care.
did it.
Yes.
Your wife did it. It's your wife's fault. I don't have a problem saying that either. So yeah, even though she's downstairs making us dinner right now.
Well, I feel like that each time we do one, maybe there should be a little theme involved.
Yeah.
And we might even do one that centers around a specific game every once in a while.
See, that would be fun.
Yeah.
I have a coworker at work
Strip
who's trying.
poker.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. A coworker of mine is trying to put together like a game night, like a Zoom game night for some of us coworkers. That we used to have game night at the office.
Yeah.
So why not do it not at the office?
Yeah, I think there are some Zooms that do that. So, but anyway, I just think it'll be fun. So that was our first one. We'll kind of figure out as we go. I never Zoomed before. That was my first Zoom. I didn't know if I was even doing it right, but now I feel like a Zoom expert. I Zoomed with another podcast the other night, just one of my favorite podcasts, and hung out, and so that was fun. So now, here's what I'm thinking.
What are you thinking?
I'm just speaking this out loud. We can talk about it if it works, if people want to do it. I think, what if we do like some Zoom interviews with our listeners? So we can, if like one of our listeners wants to be interviewed by us, we could do it through Zoom.
Sure.
If they have an interesting story, if they just want to be on the show.
Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
I mean, they've been listening for all this time. Why not? We can put them on the show.
What episode is this?
This episode is brought to you by 123.
And Sesame Street, apparently.
Right. Episode 123. So, I mean, and then before this, there was our other podcast. Some people have been with us since then. And not everybody wants to, but if they want to be interviewed, all they have to do is reach out to us and just say, yeah, I'd love to be on the show. Why don't you interview me, and we'll set it up, and you can come in and we'll interview you.
Hold on. I'm having an existential moment, and my
not
brain
you. What?
is hurting. 2.5 years we've been doing this?
We've been doing This Epic Disaster. We did Life in a Kill podcast. We've sat in these chairs. I think 2016 was when we started.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when we started what that other podcast?
That other one?
Life in a Kill podcast.
Yeah.
We started that, I believe, in 2016. And we had like 3 years of Kilt of Horrors and all of our games and all the stuff we did then. Then we transferred a lot of it here. All the beer we drank then. So we've been podcasting now for quite a while.
But This Epic Disaster...
And still no one knows. Still nobody listens.
Once a week, minus, I think, 2 weeks total that we didn't put an episode out.
Yes.
For 2.5 years.
And there were some, like when I was going out of town or you were going out of town, we kind of built up 2 or 3 shows so that they would be ready.
But we've been, yeah.
Well, we still did them.
Yeah. We still had to see each other.
Yeah.
And do them.
We're still doing it.
We're still doing it.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I just feel like, if somebody wants to be on the show, why not? If you got if you got an interesting story, if you don't have an interesting story, you just want to hang out and chat with us, let us know. Just send us an email. thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Say, I'd love to be on the show, and we'll set it up.
Or if you just have a topic that you want to talk to us about. If you think that we might have some insight on a good topic and you want to have that discussion, that might be fun too.
That's kind of a separate thing, but we definitely wanted to do that. Like we've talked about doing dream interpretations or relationship advice and all that.
But I just mean anything. If they're like, how come Rick and Cheri have never talked about this? You know what? I'd like to be part of that conversation. Let's do it.
Oh, like have them to talk about it.
And with us.
I see, okay.
And we can all discuss it.
Speaking of dreams, I had a dream the other night. Now, I've done a lot of a dream interpretation here not a lot, but some dream interpretation on the show.
Yes.
And I believe that I could do that on most dreams, I think. Mm-hmm. So I had a dream of my own the other night. I don't know what the hell it means. I don't think it meant anything.
What was it? Please tell.
I don't know what it means. If it is like all of this stuff for like the most boring nothing thing. Do you ever dream that just means nothing?
Yes.
It's like boring.
Yeah.
It's like, why am I dreaming this?
Yeah.
So I was somewhere. We were at an event. We were outside, and it was like a band had been rehearsing, and so they had all their instruments laying on the ground. So we were trying to get from one side of the ground to the other, and so we're walking around instruments, stepping over and everything. And so I stepped over an instrument, and I heard, and I was like, and then I kind of kept going, and then I got wherever I was going. I turned and looked, and there was this little girl going up to the band director, and she was like, my reed got crushed. So I stepped on her clarinet, I think.
And you don't think that means anything?
And so then I kind of felt guilty, and so I thought, all right. So I walked back, and I was just like, I think I did that. I'll be willing to pay for it. How much should I pay? And the little girl goes, well, I'd really like to get this reed set. There's 2 in it, and they're really good, and I'd really like to get that. And so maybe you'd be willing to pay for that. And I was like, okay, how much is it? She said, it'd be $75. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, I don't think I want to pay that much. And then I looked over at the band director and I was like, how much is it just regular one? And he goes, $5. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I gave $5 and that was it. So that was it. That was the whole drink.
That's fine because there's so much to read into that.
No, it means nothing.
There really is. You're tiptoeing over something that means something to somebody,
and
then you accidentally break something, and when they come at you with an unrealistic response and an expectation, you negotiate. You're willing to make it better. You're willing to make it better.
I didn't negotiate. I said no. There was no negotiation.
But you offer to make it better
yes.
until they come back at you with an unrealistic expectation.
And I said no.
And you said no.
And the band director was like, $5. And I was like, okay, no problem.
I can do that. Yeah. Exactly. So that means a lot.
Okay, I'll think about it. It just seems so nothing. It just seemed like an incident. I woke up, I was like, why did I dream that? That means nothing.
I don't know. I think you should
I don't know.
Think on it a bit and see.
What happened to you this week? Anything good? Anything fun?
Oh, God. I don't know. What day is it? It's like the third Friday of this week or something.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. All my days are going in together. But I will say that this week at work was not the greatest. I have some uncomfortable things.
Oh, really?
As part of my job that I have to take care of. And it just feels even more uncomfortable during this time.
The like happy endings for your clients?
No, I don't do that.
Oh.
It's not that job.
Oh, sorry.
This is my other job.
Sorry. My mind went somewhere else.
Yeah, it did.
Sorry.
But no, and then we had some things at work that changed.
Okay.
Due to, whatever's going on right now.
Quarantine?
Yeah. And
tightening the belt,
and it's tough. It's really, really, really hard to
on everybody
deal with, and especially when I've become very close with people at work that have been affected.
Yep.
And it hurts. It hurts me.
Yeah.
But I have to continue to work, and I have to continue to do my job, including the uncomfortable parts of my job.
Yeah.
And it just makes it that much more uncomfortable. So, also, today sucked ass. Like ass sucking happened today.
I usually like that. Okay.
No, it didn't happen to me.
Oh.
I was forced to suck ass is what was happening.
Well, it depends on who it is, but
it wasn't an attractive ass.
Right. No.
And I'm talking metaphorically here, of course. I haven't touched my lips to anybody else's
metaphorical ass
in a long time.
Right.
But so today I was supposed to have some money deposited into my account.
Yes.
And I had planned on going to the grocery store.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any laundry detergent. So one of the things I was going to do was get some laundry detergent. And I was going to, clean out my closet and go through all my clothes, get some stuff ready for Goodwill, do all my laundry and get all that spick and span. I had a plan today. And I woke up and the money wasn't there.
Boing.
So my whole day was shot because now I can't afford the things that I need.
So here you go. You're up early in the morning. You're up.
Yep.
You're like, nice day.
Gonna get all this shit done. Yeah.
And then you're like, oh man, there's fresh money in my account.
Right.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
And then so you're like, okay, I'm gonna go look and see how much it is. Just check on it. And then you look at it and you're like,
womp womp.
What?
It's not
Where
there.
Is it? Where is it?
It's not going to be there till
And then
Monday.
you're like disappointed.
Very
disappointed. You're like, the whole weekend is blown.
Well, it kind of is because I had I've been feeling like I've not been doing anything. So I had worked myself up to actually like get some shit done this weekend, so that I could start next week feeling.
Do some laundry. Yeah.
Like I accomplished something.
Yeah.
And the money wasn't there. And
so you went back to bed.
No, actually I didn't. What I did is I had, I'm not going to say how much I had, but I had a very small amount left. And I knew I didn't have enough dog or cat food to last me till I got that money on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured I got to go to the store anyways, and I have to get this dog and cat food. Well, I go, and the dog food is on sale, and it's a really good sale.
Nice.
And I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
This means that I can either afford the laundry detergent or a bottle of wine.
Wash clothes or get a buzz on.
So I was like, I'm completely crushed. My morning sucks. It's already midday because I just sat around playing games until I went to the store.
I think we know which decision you made.
So I decided to get the wine.
Yes.
I was like, fuck it. I'll get the laundry detergent on Monday. I'll just push this out to next weekend. It'll be fine.
Gonna hand wash a few things.
I mean, I'm not out of clothes. What I'm saying is, like, my project will have to wait till next weekend.
Okay.
That's fine. So I buy this bottle of wine, and I get home with my groceries, and I reach down, and my fucking phone isn't with me.
Uh-oh.
Now, my phone is also my wallet.
Yeah.
It has my driver's license, my debit card.
Yeah, everybody's kind of like that now. Sure.
And my phone, sometimes I play this game on my phone that doesn't allow the screen to lock as long as you're playing it. And I never know if I leave it open or not because I just don't pay attention.
Right.
Clearly, I don't pay attention because I left my freaking phone in the little tray of the grocery cart, which I left in the parking lot of the grocery store.
Back to the grocery store.
Holy shit, in a hurry. Like, pure panic all the way there. Pure panic, going, please, hurry, to everybody in front of me, get the fuck out of the way, you know, and just praying to everything that is good in the world that my phone...
Flying Spaghetti Monster.
All of the things. So I get to the grocery store. I literally pulled up the wrong way in front of the grocery store, right in front of where I left my cart, because I'm like, I'm getting my phone. And it was there.
Wow.
It was there. It hadn't been touched.
Nice.
Now, I will admit that this is, in fact, the third time I've done that.
So you're kind of an expert in retrieving.
Well, okay, so the first time I did it, I just made it across the parking lot to the gas station, and I went to fill up, and my phone wasn't with me, which had my debit card in it. So I went immediately across the parking lot and got it. The second time, I actually did get all the way home. I took my groceries in, I put my groceries away, and then I went to call a friend, and my phone wasn't with me. So it had been a good 10, 15 minutes that I'd been home. So I made it all the way back, and my phone was there. Now, this time, for some reason, I just knew third time's a charm. It's gone. It's gone, right? But it wasn't. It was there.
Nice.
So I'm like, oh, thank God.
Happy ending, eh?
Right. So I get home, and I'm like, I am sure as shit going to have a glass of this here wine right before I have to turn around and come over here. I'm like, I'm just going to sit for a minute and let myself calm down and have a glass of wine. So I get out of the car. I walk around the car. I open this passenger door to get my groceries out. Boom, boom, on the floor. Crash. Guess what happens? My bottle of wine, the last money I had that I spent. That sounds about like what happened in my heart. That happened in my heart. Yeah. But honestly, I just kind of looked down at the garage floor. There went that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Should have got the laundry detergent.
Yeah, you could have dropped it and nothing would have happened.
So
it'd been fine.
It just sucked. Now I had to mop up my garage floor.
It was Jesus.
Pick up all the glass.
Jesus saying he would rather you have laundry detergent than wine.
My garage smells like wine now, and you know that old wine smell. It's gonna stink tomorrow. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I was just like, okay, wow, just this is life today, apparently.
All right, let's cheer you up. Let's play a game of Would You Rather.
Thank you.
I feel like that might make you forget your troubles and get happy.
We'll see.
In fact, I'll let you go first. You drop a stone first.
I just dropped a stone on the floor.
Oh,
because
what color?
apparently
It was green. It was green, wasn't it?
I can't
did
keep
you drop
anything.
The green one? I bet you did. I have a gripe.
It's red.
I have a mother freaking gripe.
It's red.
And you know this is true because it happened in front of everyone.
What?
On the Zoom.
What?
Freaking Doug in a pub ruined my psychic for the rest of my life.
He did not ruin.
Yes, he did.
You're not psychic, Rick.
You pulled up a card and you showed it to everybody, and I was going to guess 2 of diamonds. I was about to say it, and then Doug said it out loud. If I had said 2 of diamonds, it would have stunned everyone, including you. You would have accused me of cheating, and probably everybody else would too.
Sure.
But it would have been the perfect thing for my debut on Zoom to show the psychic ability that I have. Here's what I like. There's been a couple of times in my life. This doesn't happen often, and never has happened often. But it's like somebody would just throw me a basketball, and just being dumb, I would just hook it over my head and just throw it. One or two times in my life, like when I was much younger, it actually went in. And people thought I was a master basketball player.
Because
I suck at basketball.
6'5".
I can't play any. But they didn't know that. And it was the greatest trick shot in the world. It went, and it's just like, I'm never going to throw a basketball again for the rest of my life. So it would have been that if, like, in front of our crowd, our first Zoom, and this happened, and everybody would probably accuse me of cheating. Right. But I would have guessed it. Everybody would have been stunned, and they would have been convinced of my psychic powers for the rest of my life. Doubtful. I would never have to do that again.
Doubtful.
No, Doug, I'm not letting Doug in the next Zoom. Doug doesn't get to play guess the card anymore because he ruined my psychic debut.
Doug's game days are over.
Pub. All right. Doug on a rug. He was Doug on a rug this time, wasn't he?
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Let's drop one.
It's yellow.
It's yellow. It's random. Which would you rather? Would you rather? Oh, this is cool.
Okay.
It's kind of morbid too. Would you rather experience the Titanic or the Hindenburg?
The Titanic, for sure. It's longer lasting.
Oh, you're on it?
Yeah.
But you're going to drown? You'd be okay with that?
You'd have time to like.
So when I was
yourself.
in, I can't remember what grade I was in. I can't remember what grade, but I remember that the teacher was like, "We're going to play like the final recording for the Hindenburg," and I was like, "Oh, okay," because I knew what had happened, I guess. And so that very famous, where the guy is like narrating the Hindenburg, and then it goes poof. Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost lost it. I could not believe it. It just flipped me out. It affected me. And to this day, it still, every time I hear that, it just crushes me.
Now, some people would, I'm going to assume that most people would probably say the Hindenburg because it's over. Like, poof.
Yeah, but it's like but I don't know. I think you would have more of a chance of surviving the Titanic, wouldn't you? There were people who survived the Hindenburg.
I don't know. I would just, if I'm going to die... Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess
you want to die with Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I mean, although, bitch, you can scoot the hell over on that door because there is room.
Oh, well, Kate Winslet could have floated. I saw her on that couch. She would have floated on her own. She didn't need that door. That's all I'm saying. Float me like one of your French girls. All right, I'm going to drop a blue in here.
It's purple.
Oh, so close.
Oh, I need the glasses. Where'd you put the glasses?
Right here.
I hate
Is this the thing now we have to trade glasses?
Old enough that we both have to share glasses now, and you have like 20 freaking pair. Mm-hmm. All right, so what was it?
Purple.
Purple. Okay, so purple is food and ingestion, and your question is, would you rather
I would
eat your dinner every night for 5 years in a smelly outhouse?
Okay.
Or while stuck in a clean prison?
While stuck? So basically I'm in prison 5 years.
Yeah.
Is it good food?
I doubt it. It's prison food.
I don't know. I mean,
you're either going to.
I've said this before.
Basically, what it's asking is, would you rather go to prison for 5 years, or would you rather eat your dinner in an outhouse?
I have eaten a sandwich while sitting on the toilet.
What?
I've said this before. We've had this conversation, and I've dropped it on.
Oh, that's right. We
dropped something on the floor, and I would eat it. I'll take the outhouse.
You don't want to be in prison.
I don't want to be in prison. I mean, I prefer not to eat on the toilet. But if you're eating and nature calls, don't stop eating.
You don't have to stop
eating. Just take it on into the. Just go on in.
Just go in the bathroom. With
it's
your
the
food.
Same stuff. It was going in at one point.
Now it's
coming out. The new stuff is going in. It's all the same stuff.
God, it's disgusting.
Don't worry about it. So this week I went off Facebook. I said I was going to do it. I did it. Mm-hmm. I went on Facebook as my birthday present to myself.
Nice.
And I've done pretty good. What the thing is, it's just the habit of doing it is the thing I think that I miss.
So you go to hit the thing and you're like, oh crap.
Well, no, I took it off of. It's not on any of my phones.
But you still go on Facebook for work.
I haven't yet, but I will.
Okay.
But I'm not going to go on and read all the stuff.
Right.
Right. I just go straight to the pages and do the things.
And post the things.
Yeah. So here's what's weird, and I didn't expect this. So every night now, and it's just like really weird, but like my phone, all of a sudden I have an iPhone, old iPhone, but I love it. For some reason, one of the updates, when I would, like all of a sudden, if I didn't charge my phone overnight, the next morning it's dead, completely dead. The battery's totally run down.
Okay, yeah.
And it's been doing that for like a week now. And I don't know, it's like one of the new operating systems, completely runs my battery down.
So when you say old, how old are we talking?
iPhone 6 Plus.
I mean, that's not like old.
Well, there was 6, they did 7, then they did 8, then they did, I don't know if they did 9, but then they did 10. I think they're on
8 Plus.
Yeah.
They did not do a 9.
Yeah, and then they did, so they were doing a 10 or they went X or something, I don't know. But so it's kind of old, but I love it because it's large and I can see the screen and I'm old. But
That's
anyway.
what she said.
Yes. So here's what I discovered. Not being on Facebook. Don't check into Facebook. Now, when I wake up in the morning and usually my battery's on 0, it's on like 50%.
So
that much battery has been saved.
Because Facebook is listening all the time.
Not anymore. Took it off.
It's listening.
It sucks your creative energy, and I've already noticed. Creative-wise, I'm already doing some new things.
Nice.
So
nice.
I'm kind of happy about it.
I'm gonna. Never mind.
What?
I was gonna. For some reason, it popped in my head that I'm gonna borrow some laundry detergent from your wife.
You can't. Well, she just bought some. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe you could borrow a tab or two.
If she does the pods.
I do.
Okay.
That's what I do. But she just bought some new pods.
Okay.
Everybody out there is really riveted about this conversation.
I'm sorry. Sometimes things pop in my head and they come out my mouth and I can't help it.
So this happened to us 2 days ago. So we noticed this like 2 or 3 days. You get in the shower.
Yeah.
And it's hotter than Satan's. It's hotter than Satan. It's hot. I don't know.
I mean, is Satan hot?
It's hot.
Okay. So the water is like scalding your skin.
And you can't really turn it down. In fact, I started thinking there's no cold water here. So
how in the world does that happen?
I don't know. And it kept getting worse. So I thought, well, because there's a scald guard inside. Do you know what a scald guard is?
No.
They build these little plastic things that go inside the handles or the knobs or whatever, the control on your shower, and it's so you don't get burned. You set the scald guard so that it won't scald you. And I thought, well, maybe that's gotten messed up or something. So I took it all apart. And it was fine. So I couldn't figure out what the problem was. So my wife had turned up our water heater because she felt like it was not doing its job. And I thought, well, she's turned it up too high. Okay. That's the thing.
Okay.
So I told her, I was like, I'm going to go back and turn it down. I hope you don't mind. And she was like, all right, well, whatever you got to do. Go to the water heater. There is water everywhere.
Oh, no.
It's pouring out the bottom. It's pouring out the pipes.
Oh, no.
It is just water. Our water heater blew up.
When?
This happened last night, 2 nights ago.
How much water? How much water are we talking?
40-gallon tank, 40 gallons of water.
Oh my God!
And it's dripping. It's crazy. So
it went into what? Like the foundation of the house?
Maybe. I mean, the water heater is in it's in my studio, which was the garage.
Right.
It has its own little area there, but I noticed the water was leaking out. So I think it's just gone under the house. And then whatever, but
your house is gonna start to stink.
I don't know, maybe. So anyway, I turned off the water. We have a gas thing, so I had to turn off the gas.
Yeah.
So and then we had to call plumbers. It was late at night, so we called plumbers
2 nights ago. So Thursday night.
And so Friday, a plumber came, checked it out, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you need a new one. You buy the heater, and I'll put it in." So we were going to do it, and he called. He said, "I got another job. I can't do it until tomorrow morning." So that's this morning.
no.
So he shows up at like 7 a.m. We went out and bought a heater, water heater. He puts the thing in and it's fine. But when they go fast.
Yeah.
There's no warning.
This doesn't beep at you or anything and say,
and
I'm about to blow up.
And the thing is, I think we noticed that temperature change has been going on now for like 3 or 4 to 5 days.
Oh, no.
So water just continually pouring for 5 days. But it stopped now.
Oh, no.
So we have a water heater, and we have nice showers now. If you want to take a shower at a house, you can.
I have a shower.
That's really cool.
Thanks.
I'm warm and cool.
I have a nice shower of my own. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Which I have used at least every 3 days since quarantine. I'm not going to lie.
Showering?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I'm the only one that lives in my house. My dog and my cat don't care what I smell like, especially since they smell how they smell. Really and so before I come over here, I shower every time before I come over here. I demand
it. You know, a lot of times you go into restaurants or stores and they'll say, do not enter without a mask. I'm going to put a sign in my door, do not come in unless you shower
unless
first.
You've showered. Okay, what if I showered and then I ran all the way from my house to here?
You might need to take another one.
Okay.
Probably.
Because I'd be stinky. I'd be dead, actually, because it's really far.
We need to wrap everything up, but I have something I feel guilty about. I need to talk about really quick. This is kind of going to show how weird I am, maybe. Okay. I probably shouldn't talk about it on the podcast.
And yet here you are.
And but I just feel weird about it. And I thought maybe you might be able to offer some constructive advice rather than making fun of me. I don't know.
It's likely not. Well, try me. Let's see.
All right. So, and I don't know other people do this or not. Maybe it's just me. I think it's just me. I think I'm just weird. So, I watch the ID channel a lot. ID channel, the crime channel, true crime channel.
Yeah.
ID channel.
I love that channel.
I watch it a lot.
All the time.
Frequently or occasionally, I don't know. I'm going to say occasionally, I'm watching a story and there's someone on there telling about their loved one who's died. And I'll be like, she's kind of hot.
The person talking or the person who died?
Well, both, but it's usually the person talking. I'll be like, she's kind of cute. And then I'll think, and I'm not dating and I'm not trying to date, but I would be like, man, if I was single, I'd look her up. I'd get on Facebook and look up this person, and I would like try to get her name, and I'd look up, and then I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Trying to pick up people who have had tragedy in their life.
That's not abnormal. People, especially men, and I'm going to say that out loud, people find vulnerability attractive, and they want to take care of somebody, especially if they're attractive.
But do you think that happens to the people, a lot of the people on the show, and then all of a sudden there are people on their Facebook, they look them up and they're asking them.
Probably.
I saw your.
I saw you on TV, and I think you're hot.
I saw your thing where your dad was murdered. Would you like to go out?
Can I buy you a beer?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. They probably do. They probably have to go private for a while. I mean, honestly, because they're on television, and look at the people like us who watch television,
right?
And then think about the people not like us who watch television. Imagine what they're getting, especially if they are an attractive person.
I have a confession. A few years ago, I was watching Dateline. Keith Morrison.
Mm-hmm. Keith Morrison.
I'm Keith Morrison,
and he's hot.
Dateline, and there was a story, and a girl killed the dude, and she's in prison and she's getting out. But it was like one of those things where she had to do it. Yeah. But she still went to prison.
Because it's still murder.
Yes. Yeah. But it was like no one blamed her, but she kind of had to do it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, she is like the cutest thing ever. And I checked, it was like a little bit older episode, and so just the timeline, she would be out by now. Mm-hmm. I looked her up online.
No, you didn't.
I did, and I found her. I think I found her Facebook page.
Well, wait a second. Didn't you write to somebody who went to jail when you were in?
I was no. I
or
can't
college?
remember. No, I believe it was high school.
Okay.
It was like a junior, senior high school, and this person was in college. Now, I almost feel like we were the same age. So we might have both been in college. Mm-hmm. So this is weird. You're talking about this because less than a year ago, I started thinking about that person. I was like, well, you know how easy it is to find people now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not going to go into the specifics because I don't want anybody looking this person up.
Sure.
But it involved gun stuff in public. No one was killed. Mm-hmm. I think a person was shot, but this person kind of flipped out. Uh-huh. And I felt some compassion. Just the story and what happened and the way this person reacted, I felt really bad for this person. And I wrote this person a letter. And the person wrote back to me. Mm-hmm. And that was the last I ever heard of the person.
So you never responded in kind?
I think the person got transferred, and I believe I responded, but I never got anything back after that. So I don't know if they ever read it.
Right.
So like about a year ago, I thought, I wonder if I could even find this person. So I did my little sleuthing, online sleuthing.
Y'all, Rick is really good at online sleuthing. I gave him a job to do one day because he was bothering me.
Pretty much.
I told him to find a friend of mine from 3rd grade, and he did it.
I can find if a person can be found. Usually I can. There's a couple that I haven't been able to. Been kind of disturbed me that I can't. But I did not find this person.
Okay.
But I did find the person's family.
Oh my God.
I found pictures of the person's mother and father.
Oh.
I know who the person married.
Oh.
But I could not find the person, and the person is still out there somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I kind of know some information about the person, but I didn't actually get to see the person. I think I might have seen a picture at some point of the person, but I saw a lot of pictures of the person's parents.
Interesting.
And yeah,
that's yeah.
It's
it's
wild.
not unusual for you to do what you did now because you did it when you were in college.
But for her, it was kind of a compassion. I just felt bad for her. You know what?
You said her this time, but you were saying this person.
Oh
well.
No, I was talking about. I don't know.
Okay.
I thought I was talking about the Keith Morrison.
Oh, the Keith Morrison thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I felt compassion on the person who I wrote to, but the girl, the female that was on 2020, I did because she was cute.
She was cute. So, but you also felt compassion for this person.
I don't know. I guess. I mean, I felt bad. Her story. I think the person that she shot was or killed. I don't remember how she killed, and I don't remember what all happened.
Right.
But I think the person deserved it.
Well, if you look at. I mean, I know we're getting ready to wrap up, but I'll just make this point that it's not that unusual for somebody to reach out to somebody in an awkward position, whether they've been affected by crime or they are a criminal. Because if you look at you remember Richard Ramirez?
Yeah.
Do you remember how many women were after him?
Ted Bundy. I mean, yeah.
And so it's not you're not alone in having those feelings and even doing the thing.
But you can't use ID Channel as a pickup place.
No, you shouldn't. It's not a good idea. It's probably safer than going to a singles club.
I'm having a little bit of difficulty with ID Channel. I feel like they're exploiting people's pain, and but these people do pay. I mean, they get paid to tell their story, and they allow it on. But there's like a little. There's one of the promos that's on right now that runs forever and ever and ever, and there's just a person on there that I just every time I see it, it kills me. It steps over the line of just being too hurtful. I feel like.
Okay.
So I was just like, oh, I don't think they should put that on there.
So you're starting to be disenchanted with the ID Channel.
A little bit, no, but she was cute. I would have written her if I was single. She was cute.
Interesting. Well, now we've delved into Rick's deepest, darkest thoughts.
I don't know. One of the years ago, I noticed that I had a quality about myself that I like to rescue people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time.
I would get into relationships with people who needed rescuing, and I felt like I could fix that person.
Oh, yeah.
It was something I once I kind of realized that I quit doing it, but for a long time, it was sort of my pattern. It was in some ways I would kind of like look for somebody who was flawed or who needed help, and then it's stupid. It's a psychological thing on my part.
What I think about people that do that is oftentimes they're looking for somebody who's more fucked up than they are.
It could be. I know that in my personality type, I'm a healer. What is it, like empath and healer? I don't think I'm empath, but I'm healer. So I think it's a part of that. It's just like, you know, I feel like I could fix someone who needs to be fixed. And I discovered, no, I can't.
No, you cannot.
I cannot.
It's not
I discovered it over and over and over.
Again and
but I
again.
mean, that's what it takes. Sometimes it's just like you need to realize this is not a good thing. It's not a good pattern. But that's kind of, I guess, kind of plays into that weakness. These people on the ID channel that need picking up.
Again, with the vulnerability.
I know.
People find vulnerability attractive.
Shouldn't do that. All right, let's
Wow.
let's pretend like that conversation never happened, and let's talk about this beer.
But we recorded it, Rick.
No, we didn't. I'm
Okay.
going to delete it all. All right.
Let's talk about
Flying
Spaghetti
Spaghetti
Botster.
Botster.
Yes, it is 5.5% alcohol.
Yes.
It is by Wooden Robot Brewery out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yep.
And we got the 16-ounce can, which we shared.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. Mine was gone a minute ago. It's a nice little Pilsner.
It tastes like an IPA to me. I usually love Pilsners. This tastes like an IPA. I didn't like it. It's too citrusy, grapefruity. It's got that same kind of, yeah.
I didn't get any of that.
I didn't like it.
I got a little bit of bitter.
Not enough spaghetti.
Put some oregano on it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it didn't do anything for me. I'm giving it a 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, see, now this is one of those that were just really kind of totally different.
And it could be the fact that, you know, I had a couple of cocktails earlier.
Well, I will say that when I first drank it, I didn't like it at all. I would have given it a 1.
Right.
And then as I'm drinking it, it's like, okay, it's
Growing
getting a little
on
bit
you.
better.
Yeah.
But it still has that bitterness, that citrusy. I don't like it.
Okay.
So it's not my kind.
You're
I
entitled
generally
to
like
that.
Pilsners. This Pilsner doesn't do it for me. But I do like the Flying Spaghetti Monster. I'm just not a fan of the Botster. Sorry.
Well,
Wooden Robot Brewery.
Whatever you do, I guess you won't get to wear the calendar on your head for your driver's license photo.
I will not, although I can. They will allow it. Now, is this something? Is the little robot on? It reminds me of Bender from Futurama.
It does look like Bender, but that's just because his eyes are poking out the same way Benders do.
Okay.
Honestly, it's just a wooden robot.
I think there's more to it with the pitchfork. It makes me think of something, but I can't think of what it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to give it a 2. You're giving it a 3.5.
Correct.
See what you think of it, if you can find it somewhere, and tell us what you think. Also, tell us what you think of the show. Tell us if you like hanging out with us. Tell us if you want if you want us to talk about anything. We'd just love to hear from you. And come to our Zooms. The thing about our Zoom now is anybody can come. You don't have to have been listening for a long time. You could be a brand new listener.
And join us.
And you don't have to say a word. You could just hang out and listen to everybody talk. I've done that on some other podcasts too.
Yeah, you can
just kind of hang out.
You can lurk if you want
It's
to.
a good way to get to know some of the people and get to know how weird the podcast co-hosts are.
Yeah, because that's us.
Yeah, you get to see us in live and ask questions, or if you want to ask questions.
Or point and laugh. That's fine too.
Yeah.
We get a lot of that.
All that kind of stuff. I'm not on Facebook anymore, but we're still on Facebook. You can go to Facebook at This Epic Disaster. And also there's a secret disaster baiter group on Facebook.
It's not a secret.
No, it's not a secret, and you can join it. It seems like it's a secret, but it's not.
Because nobody's joining.
And
I'm not going to say that because we have very faithful listeners.
And here's what I've discovered. If I release something on the disaster baiter group, it gets so much response. If I release something on our page,
not so much.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Yeah.
The disaster baiters, those are the fans. So
there you go.
They always respond.
There you go.
We're also on Instagram, trying to do a little more on Instagram. We're on Twitter. I don't ever do anything on Twitter.
Neither do I. So we're there.
You could be our friend, and maybe one day we'll tweet, but we don't much. And you can find all of our shows on YouTube. And occasionally we do some videos. I might do a video this week. I think I will.
Okay.
And put it on YouTube.
Sure, let's do that. You do that. I'm not going to do that.
All right, so that's all I got to say. Anything else that you have to say?
Nothing from me. I think we're good. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
I appreciate you as a person.
Oh, are you talking to me or our listeners?
All of you.
Oh.
All of the things that I say and do to you that feel hurtful.
Like the entire last episode we did?
Yeah.
I see.
That I don't mean those.
I totally don't believe that.
All right. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.
We'll talk to you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.